Good afternoon. I'd like to call order the Committee on Public Services. First item is Pledge Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, next item on the agenda is the adoption of the agenda.
So moved. Support.
Moved by Hall, supported by Vice Chair Song. Any questions, comments?
Split the difference.
Please vote.
Motion passes 9-0.
Thank you very much. Next item on the agenda is approval of minutes dated November 22nd, 2022. I'd like to have a motion to approve.
Motion to approve Van Sickle.
Moved by Perna, supported by Van Sickle. Any questions or comments? Please vote.
Motion passes 9-0.
Kind of wonder if I should take this personal that a lot of people didn't show up for my committee. It's my last committee. At this time, we'd like to have public participation. First opportunity for public participation is for those who wish to speak for a maximum of 3 minutes on an item which is on today's agenda. Second opportunity for public participation is for those who wish to speak on the issue later. Seeing nobody that wants to talk, public participation is closed. Next item, and some of these will be grouped together as I go along, just so you know. 6A, purchase of Lunghamer Ford of Owosso. This is for 2 F-150 trucks and 1 F-250 truck.
Chair, I'll make the
You're on.
motion
Oh,
to
wait a
move
minute.
forward
I'd
to
like to
full
have,
board.
what was that?
I'll make the motion.
Vice Chair Song makes the motion, supported by Commissioner Kraft. Welcome.
Welcome, Dan Echevetti. I'm pinch hitting today for Director or Deputy Baker, as he is at GLWA. We're looking to upgrade and replace 3 vehicles, all of which are heavily used and over 100,000 miles, 15 years old, 14 years old, and 12-year-old vehicles. Utilized the Macomb County purchasing policy with the state contracts, and I'm here to answer any questions you have.
Dan, I don't think Brian could have said that any better. Seeing no speakers, please vote.
Motion passes 9-0.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dan. Appreciate it. And I think he's just on time. Item 6B, budget amendment, planning and economic development, grant fund 361. I'd like to have a motion to recommend to full board. Moved by Hall, support by Nard. And Jerry, welcome.
Thank you. You guys are nice and prompt today. This is great. Thank you. Yes. Not always my item, though. So, I would like to explain what the CN Railroad, we were approached by the railroad in early fall to apply on behalf of, I think, about 5 different communities in the northern part of the county that are part of their list serve of communities that could benefit from a beautification award. And so we did it on behalf of these communities. We contacted each of them. We said, if we were able to apply this to your local community, would you work with us to find a location? And they had agreed upon it. We applied for it, but we knew there was a lot of competition. It's only $25,000, but every bit of money helps. And we got the grant, so we're happy about that. And so now we will pursue working with the local government, but we need the ability to, change our line item in our budget to include this for 2023. So we're here on behalf of the communities that we'll be working with to accept that money. I don't know if you have any questions.
I don't see any. I'm going to give it a moment. Seeing no questions, please vote. Thank you, Jerry.
Yeah, thank you.
Motion passes 10 to 0.
You even got one more vote than the last person. We're going to go with 6C and D combined. This is a contract MDOT preliminary engineering for reconstruction scoping of Mound Road from 8 Mile to 11 Mile, as well as the 16-mile road Mound to Van Dyke preliminary engineering. I'd like to have a motion to recommend C and D to full board.
Support
Moved by
Van
Nard.
Sickle.
Support by Van Sickle, was it? Thank you very much. Brian, welcome.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. These first two items are MDOT contracts for the preliminary engineering services for the reconstruction of both Mound Road from 8 Mile to 696, basically, and for Metropolitan Parkway 16-mile road between Mound and Van Dyke. These were mentioned previously at some of the meetings before you as some of the priorities as far as moving forward with these types of projects in these locations. This is an 80-20 split, so we get a little over 80% federal funding, with the remaining just under 20% split with ourselves in Warren as far as the Mound Road and ourselves in Sterling Heights with the Metropolitan Parkway project. So seeking approval of these two MDOT contracts.
Thank you. Vice Chair Song?
Thank you, Chair. Brian, I'm so happy I could hug you. Happy holidays.
Same to you.
I'm so excited about the potential study of the Mound Road project from 8 Mile to 11 Mile. So I just want to thank you so very much for bringing this forward. And I hope that my colleagues will support it fully, 100%. Just do have a few questions regarding the 80-20. You said that was federal funding, but it's with MDOT, so it's not state funding, it's federal still?
Actually, that is federal funding that is run through the state. So
Okay.
the state is a fiduciary, and that trickles down through us.
Got
So
it. Okay, thanks for the clarification.
You're welcome.
And then the 112,000, that's each, right, for the 16-mile road and Mound? Or
The-
is that 112 total for both?
So for the Mound Road, the requesting party share, which is total, is $225,967.50, which is split between us and Warren. And then the other project, it's the same. So both are total cost of the same amount, so we would split the same. So yes, $112,984 would be the road department share, and the same would be for the other community, whether it's
Okay,
Warren
got
or
it.
Sterling Heights.
For the Mound project, because we do have that 30-something million coming from the state, could some of that money be applied instead of the money from the road construction budget?
That 32 million is short of the overall budget deficit that we had for the North project. So
Okay.
that would be going towards shrinking that funding gap. We will still be looking for avidly and diligently additional funding, because obviously it's a heavier lift, as I described before, for this project from 696 to 8 Mile and Mound. So we will be looking for federal grants, submitting for federal grants and opportunities for that additional money to support, obviously, us and the city of Warren.
Okay, thank you for the update. Thank
You're
you, Chair.
welcome.
Thank you. Seeing no other speakers, please vote.
Motion passes 10 to 0.
Thank you. Next item is E, cost share agreement, City of Roseville, Utica Road at Biehl Street, the flashing beacon maintenance. I'd like to have a motion to recommend full board. Motion by Haw, support Kleinfeld? Who said it? Song. I'm like, who was it? Go ahead, Brian.
So this is a request. This is by the city of Roseville for us to maintain this particular beacon at this crossroads of Utica and Biehl Street. We do a lot of the operation and maintenance of all the signals within Macomb County. This one is theirs, but they would pay 100% participation costs for the operations and maintenance of this by us doing it and getting reimbursed by them. So basically, this is a cost share for that agreement. So seeking approval of that.
Thank you. Commissioner Hall?
Thank you, Chair. Hi, Brian.
Good afternoon.
Last night, the city council approved the development, 5-story things, condominium, housing complex, right there at Utica and Biehl. Would this flashing beacon play into any part of that at all? I don't want to put something up and then have to tear it down.
No, this is just an existing beacon that is currently maintained by City of Roseville, and they want to basically turn that maintenance and operations over to us as a department to maintain through our progressions of different intersections throughout the county. So it was theirs, they were maintaining. We're going to maintain it with this cost share that they would reimburse us for those costs.
Great. Thank you, Chair.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. Seeing no other speakers, please vote.
Motion passes 10-0.
Thank you. This time I'd like to combine F and L. This is cost share agreement, Sterling Heights, Schoenherr Road, Clinton River to Canal, as well as the cost share agreement, Sterling Heights, Metropolitan Parkway, Rehabilitation from Ryan to Mound.
So moved, Song.
So moved by Vice Chair Song. Support?
Support Van Sickle.
Support Van Sickle. Brian, F and L. Thank you.
Yes, so F is a cost share agreement with Sterling Heights for rehabilitation of Schoenherr Road between Clinton River Road and Canal. This would be a local agency project, split 50-50 between us and the city. So our cost would be half of the $3,571,703. G would be a cost share with Sterling Heights and Warren for a local agency project on 14 Mile Road.
I'm sorry, we're doing F and L.
Oh, F and L.
Both Sterling Heights.
Okay. So L is cost share agreement for, once again, a local agency project on Metropolitan Parkway for rehabilitation between Ryan and Mound in the total cost of $5,120,000. As I said, 50-50, so the county cost would be $2,560,000, as would the other half be City of Sterling Heights. So seeking approval on those two cost shares with City of Sterling Heights.
Seeing no questions, please vote F and L.
Motion passes 11-0.
The excitement's overwhelming. We're on to G. Cost share agreement, Sterling Heights and Warren 14 Mile Road from Hayes to Hoover. Brian? Oh, first a motion to recommend full board. So moved by Vice Chair Song, supported by Commissioner Wallace. Thank you.
Once again, this is a local agency project. Cost share agreement with Sterling Heights and Warren. It's a divided road, 14 Mile Road from Hayes to Hoover, in the total amount of $7,936,000. Our cost would be half of that at $3,968,000. So seeking approval of this cost share agreement with Sterling Heights and Warren.
Seeing no speakers, please vote.
Motion passes 11-0.
All right, we're on to item H, cost share agreement, Washington Township Campground Road Rehabilitation. I'd like to have a motion to recommend full board.
So moved, Perna.
Moved by Wallace, support by Perna. Brian, H.
Yes, keeping in line with the others, this is a local agency project, cost share agreement with Washington Township for the rehabilitation of Campground. And that would be between Van Dyke and 28 Mile Road. The total cost would be $3,840,000. So splitting half of that for ourselves as a department, a cost of $1,920,000. So seeking cost share approval.
Seeing no speakers, please vote. Yep, I was waiting for it. Commissioner Brown.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Campground Road, it's a lot of heavy truck traffic there. It's greatly appreciated, and there's also going to be a roundabout and put at the end of that. Is that part of this? Is only deal with Campground. There's a roundabout that can be at the end of that, correct? Or is that going to be a separate bid package?
Yes, this is just for the rehabilitation of the existing roadway, not as far as the configuration of that intersection.
Okay.
So,
for the commissioner's background, Campground Road, till not too distant past, used to be an old Indian trail. that went north into the Thumb, and it's an Indian campground, and it's where they got the road, Campground Road, and it's still pretty much the condition it was back in the 1840s when the area was first settled. But Campground Road, it goes up to Camp Rotary up there, and there's a lot of interesting history up there. In Macomb, kind of ancient settlements, they're historic, and it's really it's really largely unnoticed, but it's interesting history of the road there that's being rehabilitated. Appreciate that. And it's also a cost share. The local community is kicking in the money to help pay for the project, so it's needed and necessary. It's a historical road. If you're ever up there in that way, I'll show you around. Thanks.
Was that firsthand knowledge, Commissioner Brown?
Say again?
Was that firsthand knowledge, the ancient?
Yeah, exactly. You got it, Commissioner Farrington.
Seeing no other speakers, please vote.
Motion passes 11-0.
Thank you. The next item is I, cost share agreement, Lynn Township, Kelly Road rehabilitation from 15 Mile Road to South and Nunneley Road. I'd like to have a motion, recommend to full board. So, recommended by, motion made by Perna, support by Wallace. No, both, Wallace did too. Go ahead, Brian.
Yes, this is a cost share agreement with Clinton Township in the department for a local agency project. The only difference in this is that this is a local road, so this would be a 60-40 split, 60% on the township and 40% on the department roads. So our total cost would be $808,122. Seeking approval of this cost share with Clinton Township.
Seeing no speakers, please vote.
Motion passes 11-0.
Next item, I'd like to take J and K together. This is the cost share agreement, Fraser Public Schools flashing beacon installation, as well as K, the cost share agreement, Fraser Public Schools flashing beacon installation and maintenance. If I can have a motion to recommend to full board. So moved. Moved by Vice Chair Song. Support by
Van Sickle.
Nard? Darn. I was trying to get her in one time. Van Sickle. Go ahead, Brian.
So yes, these are both cost share agreements with the Fraser Public Schools, one being the location of Kelly and Matthew Drive, and the other being the location of Kelly Road and Disney Elementary School for the installation of a flashing beacon and future maintenance of that annually. So seeking approval of the both cost shares with the Fraser Public Schools.
Commissioner Van Sickle.
Thank you, Chair. Is part of the maintenance the electric bill?
Yes, yes. Whoever requests this and the installation is not only the future operations and maintenance, but it includes the electric that runs it in the future. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
You're welcome, Commissioner.
Seeing no other speakers, please vote. And Brian, this is my last time with the gavel here, so I want to appreciate your, thank you for your professionalism over the last 2 years. Thank you very much.
Thank you much, Commissioner Farrington. And happy holidays, everyone. Thank you.
Merry
Commissioners.
Christmas.
Merry
Motion
Christmas.
passes 11-0.
See you tomorrow.
Next item is correspondence, 7A, Macomb County Department of Roads, project updates, lane closures. Can I have a motion to receive and file?
So moved.
Board.
Moved by Kraft, support by Hall. See no speakers, please vote.
Motion passes 11-0.
Thank you. Item 8, public participation. Seeing there is no public here, public participation is closed. On to number 9, commissioners' comments. I'll recognize anyone except for Commissioner Kleinfeld. Vice Chair Song.
Thank you, Chair. I just wanted to commend you for a job well done. The past 2 years, you have served in this role, quite honorably, and we are certainly going to miss you next term. Appreciate all that you do and wish you all the best. With that said, I also wanted to give a shout out to CMH, Ann Pacheco and Andrew Fortunato were at an event on Saturday for the Michigan Hmong Women's Association, and they came and talked a little bit about what CMH does. The mobile unit was there at the Macomb Community College Warren campus. It was a very educational, informative event about mental health and awareness and where to seek help. And seeing that this was the shortest meeting in the history of the past 2 years, I just thought I would take the time to share that with all of you guys. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. I think I've averaged about 20 minutes. Commissioner Hall.
Thank you, Chair. I want to congratulate your chairing of this committee. We've had millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars pass through this committee. And I must say this was much more enjoyable than sitting with you on tax policy up in Lansing at 9 a.m. in the morning on Thursday. So best to you, my friend, and God bless.
Commissioner Kleinfeld.
You are coming tomorrow, right? Okay, okay. All right, well then I won't say my goodbyes right now, but you know what I want to commend you on? I want to commend you on not reading that entire thing on the agenda for the hearing of the public when there's nobody in the audience. Thank you, Chair.
Appreciate it. Commissioner Brown.
Yeah, just thank you for your chairmanship. Again, did a good job running this committee, and sometimes these contracts come at you rather quickly, especially in this committee, and needing expedited approval sometimes, and nothing got past you without thorough review, and I appreciate that, and as I know it's not easy to do. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Commissioner Zinner.
Thank you, Chair. Commissioner Song, I thought about you on the weekend on your event, thinking, well, I wonder what's going on. I wish I could be there. I thought it'd be very nice, and I knew I would be, I'm sure. And Commissioner Farrington, it's going to be a real loss without you here. I can't tell you, we're really going to miss you here. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Commissioner Perna.
We all have very, very busy calendars. I just want to let you know on this coming Saturday, for those that may be interested, I'm putting on an annual event at the Mirage Hall for 350 special need kids, adults. And it starts at 8 o'clock in the morning. We have a bunch of high school kids, Honor Society, helping us with stuffing all the Christmas bags. We serve breakfast then at about 9:30, 10 o'clock. Santa Claus comes around 10:30, 11. I do play Santa Claus. And about noon, they're on their way. So this is an annual event. We've been doing it now for, I think, 35 years. And anybody that's interested in coming and sharing some volunteers with our special need, we call them kids. They're not kids. I remember when some of these young females and males were 10, 12 years old. Now they're 55 and 60 years old. These are all adults that come from various group homes throughout Macomb County. We deal with MORC. If anybody knows what MORC is, Macomb Oaken Regional Center over on 19 Mile Road. So this is an annual event. You're certainly all welcome. And you can see one of your commissioners doing some ho, ho, ho. So thank you.
I was very careful on how you worded those last few words. Seeing no other speakers, I'd like that motion to adjourn. Motion by Kraft, support by Wallace. Please vote.
Can we hear ho, ho, ho?
Motion passes 11 to 0.